we're back for Foreign Friday off of the Breeders' Cup International Foreign Friday. We were just talking a little bit about that ethical diamond that paid $50, Thomas, and you were telling me about the trainer and his unusual training tactics.
Well, Willie Mullins is top jump trainer in Ireland, England. I mean, he dominates Chatham in March and those. So, but he has more than a few good flat horses. But that's not his, of course, where his specialty is. But it was interesting. One of the interview with him said they had changed this because the horse was too keen early on races. The reason they put it in hurdles was to slow it down. And but they knew the horse had plenty of stamina to go distances. Well, yeah, won a maiden going over 2.5 miles. So yeah, I think that stamina is probably there.
Yeah, I think the stamina is there. The stamina is obviously there for Foreign Fridays as well. So we're back in Hong Kong. I'm always confused. Are they running on Saturday? Are they running on Sunday? I'm pretty sure they're running on Sunday. So
this is the Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday card indeed. And just a note, right now, the weather there is pretty solid. So yeah. Saturday, Sunday, supposed to be sunny. High of 86 on Sunday on race day. The track right now is listed as good. I don't see any reason why that would change, Thomas. And of course, something that never changes is free picks over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description on YouTube. Sometime between now and early Sunday morning, late Saturday night, right there, I will post Tom's thoughts, my thoughts for the races we're about to do at Sha Tin. You'll just come to the horseracingtoday.net website, click on that. It'll take you right to that, as well as a race replay. And I'll timestamp every race in the description on YouTube, so you can come back and watch them all individually at your convenience. While you're at the HRT website, hit that HRT gear button right there. You see me highlighting it. Take you over to our merchandise shop. Absolutely, next week, Thomas, where we are, it will definitely be hoodie weather. I think there's a day where the low is in the 20s and it's supposed to snow. What do you think about that?
I'm thrilled.
Yes, indeed. It sounds it. Probably almost as thrilled as you were watching Ethical Diamond win when we both said he's got a chance and we didn't do much about it.
Nope. That was our kick in the pants, but we at least talked about the horse.
Yes. Well, you didn't say what part of the pants, but usually afterwards you're talking in a squeaky voice.
Yes.
Now, race number 6. Race number 1 for you and I is the Suisse Programme Handicap. This one is going to be, oh Lord, how many meters is this one? 1,200 meters.
Six. It's 6 furlongs.
Yeah, unfortunately, when I look at the track, though, they don't give us 6 furlongs. So I have to find the one that matches 1,200 meters. So we can start here, make one turn, come on home. And Thomas, when they make that turn and come on home, do you like the front runner types? What sort of horses make the top of your list?
Well, I have a front runner in here, but not as my top choice. I'm going to go with
we'll go to
one I can mispronounce right away.
Mm-hmm.
And
but before we go that, let's take a look at the race shape here. It does look like it's a race where a lot of horses tend to be middle forward and pressure those front runners. Pretty competitive early race early on. Do you see anything different than what the great folks at the Hong Kong Jockey Club have put up here?
No, I the only thing I thought was that Incredible Moment will be more likely on the lead. And since he drew 5, he's got a really good chance of getting a clean break. If he breaks clean, he'll get a break right up front to sit up front. But I'm not taking him on my top choice. But I am taking the one I am taking is the one I can mispronounce initially, which I always love, don't you?
Oh, just yeah.
Number 4, Serzing. I don't know. Serzna?
Zering?
Maybe.
Like, isn't that like a sound like so Zering? Is that about right? Maybe. Yeah.
I scratched my head on that one. First start of the season comes out of the last race. Last year he bled in the trachea So obviously needed some time off, and also has 3 barrier trials coming into this one. Won 2 of them and ran third in the other one by a neck. He only won once in his career, but return to this level I like. And Zach's up. That usually says something.
You know about that guy.
Yeah.
There's that man again.
Yeah, he's won a few races.
Yeah, a few.
And he took Kying Rising to the winner's circle in Australia, so obviously knows how to ride a horse. Number 2, Voyage Boss is going to be next choice. This is also his first start. He ran a troubled 4th in the first. I mean, his first start was a bust. Second start was a 4th, but he had trouble. Kicked for home nicely. He's had a barrier trial. He ran second, and by a neck. This is one, and I think he's sitting on a big effort today. So I'm going to put him there. Finally, I'm going to take this speed horse of 7 Incredible Moment. He may be the lone speed in this race, but look, the charts say, but he's in the past has been kind of cutting the 6. He draws 5, which helps. He ran second last time out. He set the pace. When he came in under pressure, that's when he gave it up a little bit. Third time up. I think he's got a good chance of hitting the board.
Well, this one pick that we agree on, the only pick that we agree on, so where your end is where I am going to begin. I'm going to begin with Incredible Moment. Even though he did fade at the end of the last race, it was better than the finished look because he ran more than a second faster. So if he can get away today with a little bit better fractions, maybe he doesn't have to run that second faster, and maybe he doesn't give it up at the end. Jubilant Winner. Yes, that was my next pick. The horse is making its first start up and usually wins. The last 2 times he came home into the winner's enclosure. Great Spirit in the Sky, Holly Doyle, the 10 horse. It's a lot better in his last race. That one was about 2 seconds faster. When I go through my notes at the end of the day and review which horses won and then read my notes, so many times I read that the horse was faster last out. Clearly a sign of a horse coming to form. And then finally, right on top of that one is a good chap. Signs of Life in his last race. Thomas, you know where I learned that from, right?
Your dog?
Yes. My dog, who speaks to me, just like what was his name?
Massive.
That guy, Sam. What was his name?
Mr.
The guy from New York. This serial killer.
Sorry,
son of Sam. That guy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing with my picks, right? Just flat out murdering them. All right. So those are my picks for race number 6. We're going to go off to race number 7 now. This one is the Sasa Ladies Purse Handicap. They're going to go 1,800 meters. And in this case, if we go to 1,800 meters, we're going to start all the way back in the chute. So kind of like the opposite of a 1-mile run at the Churchill Downs, where they'd start here and go all the way around. And here, sprint types tend to do good with 1-turn routes. Do they tend to do good with 1-turn routes in Hong Kong too, Thomas?
No.
No. All right. That kind of settles that question. If you're going to go for the speed horses, and it looks like there's a lot of horses here that do want to be middle forward, Tom, so this could be a pace that sets up for horses that come from off the pace. Do you agree with that quick assessment of the way this one looks up?
Yeah, again, the break will be key here. This is this is a Group 3 race, so these are pretty good horses.
Mm-hmm. Which is the best?
I'm going to start with number 1, Beauty Joy. Definitely the best horse on paper. Comes in here with a 3rd place finish in our Group 2 last time out, and that was First Asking. This is a dead closer. So post position probably won't matter except for the type of trip. And very interestingly, he drew 14 last time and finished 3rd. So he's not they're not doing him any favors. And of course, he gets top weight for a reason.
Well, he's 4 places to the inside now, so maybe that's the difference.
Yeah, never know.
Mhm.
He's definitely a very good horse.
Uh-huh.
And number 13 is California Totality. Yeah, there's a lot. He has had 2 starts this season. He ran second to the last time in a Class 2 at Happy Valley. He gets a huge weight break for good reason. This level's maybe a little more than he can handle, but I'm going to take a guess. Say he can, because he's got speed. He's got an inside post. He's really run well at this distance. He's got 3 wins, 2 seconds, and from 7 starts. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is indeed.
He's got form without question. I think he's good enough to hit the board, and the post position will help. And finally, I'm going to take 2. Chang Ching Glory, my final choice. Enters the race up the layoff and finished second in the Group 3. He's had 3 barrier trials. They were all in the all weather, and they were okay. They weren't great, but they weren't awful. He's won before off a layoff, so he knows how to do that part of it. He's also finished the money 3 times doing that. I think he's good enough to hit the board. Weight is a little bit of a concern because he does get penalized for being good.
Mm-hmm. Well, Thomas, you heard me say "uh-oh" under my breath as you went through your first 2 picks. My first pick, Beauty Joy, coming down from a grade 2. Going to catch a little bit more distance today in the second up time. I think that absolutely works to Beauty Joy's benefit. Last time out at a mile ran faster than it did at the previous time at a mile. A lot of those boxes our good friend Terry likes to check. And then California Totality. Yeah, well, I went from 1 to 13, just like you, Thomas. Should be better in the second start. Strong at the distance. Yes, indeed. 7 times out. Trio wins, a pair of seconds. So Thomas and I identifying some similarities. And this is where we get different. Bundle Award. Next on my list, that is the 11 horse. I think this is one of those horses, much like the kind that I like that are all or nothing. Yeah, boomer bust types. It's an all or nothing type. It's won 7 of 16 races at the distance, so almost half. And a horse that wins half of his races always has to have consideration, because if he's on today, there's only one place he's likely to end up. That's the winner's circle, although does have a trio of thirds in there. That last race was bad, so I expect the punters. Are they called punters in Hong Kong too, Thomas?
Yep, you can.
Yeah,
especially with the English influence that is certainly still prevalent in Hong Kong.
Well, the punters may be avoiding this one off of that last.
Yeah, the only disadvantage here is the draw.
Yeah, number 12. Yeah, 11. And then finally, number 4, Cap Farrat. There's that man again, Thomas. Zach Purton, another good draw, 13. Apparently, I don't pay attention to that. But he's a Tom horse, for sure. This guy win? Yeah, I'd say probably not. But anytime I say this is a Tom horse, he ain't going to win. You know what he always does, Tom? He always wins. But I think in the money for sure. Well, not for sure, but a good chance. And second start after a layoff and the class drop. So a little bit lighter field, a little bit more stamina, maybe a little better result, even though he's leaving from the 13 post. Race 8.
He'll have some work to do.
Yeah, well, that's what you get the top jockey for, to get that work done. Race 8, the Elizabeth Arden Handicap. This one's 1,400 meters. So we take a look at the 1,400 meter. They're going to come right here. And still pretty decent amount of backstretch to work with before you head into the turn. I love Tom's simple one-word answers. Is this a case where you want to get to that turn early?
Preferably.
Yeah.
But I think with some cover.
And the race shape in this one, it's not as much early speed as we saw in the prior 2 races. So maybe this is a case, Tom, where maybe Bowser or I don't even want to go with that. Maybe Bowser can get to the lead and stay out. They're all by myself. You see that happening or no?
Admit it, you just want smart fat cat to win.
Yeah, well, I don't think I'm any of those things. I'm not smart, nor am I a fat cat. So
Yeah, well, I'm going to start with the
I think
last.
that would be more like you and Terry. You're both smart,
Yeah.
and you're much more fatter catters than I am.
Yeah, I'll start with the last time out winner in number 6, Strat Piffer.
Yeah, that's exactly why I avoided that.
He ran into a fast pace last time out, and guess what? He did. He won going away. Got a barrier trial since. He ran 4th in that one. He's got a good draw for this one, and I can, with his kick at the end, I think he's got a good chance of repeating. Number 8, Excel Wong Choi is going to be my next choice. It didn't show much in its first start of the season, and then ran 3rd with some issues last time out. He's really a weird horse because a lot of times he runs one good one, then he's. But I'm going with odds, and I like the jockey change too, and I think that'll help. And finally, I'm going to take number 7, Young Bravo. Let's just say the horse didn't really do very well last time out, getting out of the gate. Slow start, finished very fast, and he was behind my top choice. His 3rd career start, so not a lot of experience. But if he can come off that last race, break better, I think he's got a chance.
I'm going to start with the top horse here, Italan Or. Very good run in his last race. Solid maintenance workout to keep that Stephen Covey horse racing saw sharp. Positive Smile, the 11 horse. I'm just loving these outside draws. Last time out, this horse ran a little faster, and with that 10 spot, he better run a little bit faster once again. Number 7, Young Bravo. I agree with you, the youngster. Maybe Bravo for us as well. Definitely improved a lot from the first start to the second start, and a similar move up versus these maybe fits right in to the winner's circle or enclosure. And then finally, there's that theme. There's that man again, Jack Purton on Better and Better. This horse is another one of those horses. I don't think he's going to win, but one thing is for sure, he's always close at the end. So I suspect that you'll hear the race caller mention his name as they come down the stretch. Just might not call it out as your winner, maybe a place or show horse. 2 more to go. Race number 9. And these races will be going on in the middle of the morning. I don't know. Will you be up, Thomas?
You never know. Yeah. I have been in the past.
Yeah, I've been.
And I should point out, if you do watch these, they do an excellent job of describing the horses when they're in the paddock and pointing out things, because I've gotten on horses and gotten off horses, and generally it's paid off. So sometimes if you're interested in watching, not just betting, but actually watching, there is some interesting commentary.
Yeah, a lot of times I intend not to be up, but because I made the picks, I can't sleep because I want to know how they did, and I'm up anyway. Yes. So another 1,400 meters, another one here, maybe being forward placed or at least in mid-pack, giving yourself a chance, depending upon the speed shape, to be involved as they come around that corner and go for home. Another race that looks kind of pretty balanced. You got half of the field a little bit that wants to be middle forward, the other half that wants to be middle back. A lot of times these races go to the best horse or perhaps the best. Usually they go to the best horse, but this might be one because the way they spread out pretty evenly. It could be one of those so-called jockey races, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, read that first comment on that piece, because
oh man, I just closed that. Let me open it back.
No, that's all right.
I get it. Hold on, I get it. It's pretty easy to do. Just that speed map there, and this is all available at racing.hkjc.com. The speed in this race has drawn so wide, there'll be a scramble for early positions. All right, so a lot of speed.
Oh, if you want one that closes, just establish something that you can get a clear run at the end. That's the way.
All the Buffalo girls on the outside have all the speed.
Yeah, and I'm going to start with number 13, Lucky Sam Gore. Moves up in class after 2 wins. And he broke from post position 12 in one race and 14 in the other to win. So that's that's doing a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Improved with that first win. He improved to after the last win, in time and in how he finished, which is also a very good sign. And with any horse, he's been running fine before that too. He's got some seconds and a third. So he's decent horse overall. Again, now he gets a decent draw. He's just got for him, a decent draw would be anything at this point. He's just a hot horse and gets in lightweight because he's moving up. Next one is number 2, Little Paradise. He's been running well overall. A win last time. It was at this level at 1,200 meters. He's never raced 1,400 meters before. He comes in off. Barrier trial was on the all-weather. He won on the lead before. He's also won from coming far back. So versatility is not a bad thing in this race, I don't think.
Never a bad thing.
And guess who he gets to ride him?
That man again.
And finally, number 11, Tin Fook was my final choice.
You got to say that like Conor McGregor.
Fookie Tin?
No. Yeah. So if you ever listen to Conor McGregor and he does this talk, that Fook is, we would use that as a different 4-letter word here as well. But anyway, just.
He had a poor debut and then ran third in his last 2 races, and both of them had some issues. Turns the same distance. He won a barrier trial coming into this one, and I think he'll continue to improve.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about price-wise, but you could get something interesting.
Yeah, I think you probably will. This race, I feel like, once you get past 1 or 2 horses, it's really just go ahead and pull a number out of a hat. So I'm going to pull number 1 out of my hat first. Juno Pride. I mean, I don't know how against the other 13 horses in this field you get around being in the money 9 out of 10 races. Definitely one that should perform well at this group. Pretty light horse there too, under 1,000 pounds, skinny. Little Paradise next up on the list for me. 4 of his 5 races would probably be good enough to beat this crew. And then I'm going to go with Pray for Justice. This horse makes its 2nd career start, won its debut as the $2 favorite. So the bettors, actually, punters, whatever they're called, horse players, they thought kindly and highly, and Pray for Justice came through. And today, 9 pounds less than it carried in its winning debut. So it's going to feel like an easy race. That's the fat horse. Pointed out the skinny one. I got the skinniest one and the fattest one. How about that? And that's something I've really never thought about. And then finally, number 4, Enode rarely makes a start without a workout between races. If you look at the past performances, well, guess what he's doing today? Back-to-back starts, no workout in the middle. Jockey's saying, the trainer's saying, you know what? Enode is ready to go. We're going to get him out there while he's hot. And again, post 13. So, yeah, I'm doing a great job picking outside horses, Tom.
Well, you never know.
You never can tell. Yes, that's the great thing about horse racing, indeed. If you haven't done so already, hi, Private Ross, how you doing today? The answer is yes, they are fixing races here. Maybe 20-cent trifectas. Don't bother with the 20-cent exactas. Vicente always do. There you go. The what's due for you and me is race number 10, Thomas. That one is the Santa Monica Handicap. It's going to be 4:50 a.m. Eastern. Definitely insomnia.
It's just when you're getting up.
That's usually when I'm just getting home, Bob. When I was probably 30 years younger, that's probably true. Maybe a little bit more than that. 1,400 meters again. So we're going to get a belly full of those 1,400 meter races. We'll know for sure what the bias is by 4:50 a.m. Eastern on Sunday morning. And then as far as we can tell, as far as the speed map goes, it tells us in the finale, most of your horses want to be middle back. So this might actually be one that speed can go all the way. And it says here, healthy, happy, let all the way last start. Going to try to repeat those tactics, Thomas. Willie.
No. Not in my opinion. And I am going to start with a first-time Hong Kong starter, number 10, Sha. I usually don't take I don't take first-time starters as a rule in Hong Kong. I figure they need a race. The exception is when they're racing at a high level, and this is definitely a stakes quality field in here, without question. And this horse falls in that race because he's run longer races, and he's a Group 2 winner at 3 at Rosehill in Australia. So it's not like he's not faced some good company. I think that starting him at this distance is my big question. I didn't show much in his barriers, but I'm going to take him. And this jockey who's a good jockey, doesn't have a win yet this season. That's not necessarily a good sign, but I'm gonna roll the dice and think that this Australian horse is a pretty good horse.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, I'm going to take number 12, a Beauty Crescent. He draws an inside post. He has tactical speed, and generally sits close to the pace. That helps. He's won his last 3 races. And interestingly enough, the pace has been slow in one of the races, a little faster in the next one, and very fast in one. So there is some ability there to rate, which I like. Yep, he's moving up, but if he keeps improving like he is, he'll be well into those group races very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I'm going to take 2 Light Years Charm. It's my next choice. Or final choice, I should say. He blew the start last time out, ran 7th. Oh, yeah. That makes sense, right? But he'd won 4 in a row prior to that. Has a good draw this time around. It's got Zach, doesn't hurt any. And, just get out of the gate, and you got a chance.
Get going. We both zeroed in on some similar horses there. I have that 10 horse too. You mentioned, Tom, that he's a class horse dropping out of a Group 1. That's good. And then, yes, at the distance, 5 times out, 3 wins and a 3rd. Although the distance, maybe not as good as the other numbers because 0 for 2. Maybe the class drop changes that. Light Years Charm, you pointed that one out, Tom. Again, Zach Burton, you got to have him in your tickets in Hong Kong. Another one, unlike the 10 horse, he likes the distance. 9 times out, 4 of them ending up in the winner's enclosure. 2nd and a 3rd in that mix too. So 6 out of 9 on the board, mostly winners. Number 8, Steps Ahead. Again, I got to have that 13th draw, Tom. Otherwise, I wouldn't.
You really like being on the outside today.
Yeah, it's going to be the track bias. You can count on it. Anyway, that one's run at the distance 5 times. And you know how many times he's hit the board, Thomas? 5 times.
That
is then finally
very good.
Yeah, but with the outside theme, why not? Chu Chow Spirit, another one of Tom's types. Gonna win? Yeah, unlikely. In the money, I would say, yeah, good chance with a strong late run, and he might need that with that 12th draw. And that wraps up our thoughts again for Hong Kong for this Sunday coming up. Again, over at horseracingtoday.net, sometime between here and there, I will post all of our thoughts in text, along with a video for a replay in the description on YouTube. I will timestamp it. There's a tip jar in there too, if you would kindly hit that up, especially if we hit something nice. We'd greatly appreciate it. A cup of coffee or a Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew. Free picks today and every day over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. A link again in the description on YouTube as well as on horseracingtoday.net. And wherever you're watching, whether you're watching on X or you're watching on YouTube, kindly hit the subscribe button And then go over to the other venue and subscribe over there, just in case Amazon's servers go down again, as they have in the past.
And they give you the finger.
That works too. We've sort of gotten the finger from YouTube because I don't know what we did wrong. We just went from here to here from one day to the next with our views, and they told me, well, nothing's changed. Yeah, no, something's changed.
Yeah, right. You heard that lie before.
Yeah, like, come on, man. What do you mean nothing's changed? Goes from 2,000 to, around 100, and nothing has changed. Yeah. Anyway, any ideas of what Foreign Friday might hold for us next week?
Caulfield.
Tom with another quick one-word response, and I love it. It means we'll be ready for that. Any final thoughts from you, Tom, before we get up and out of here?
As always with Hong Kong, there are no shortage of horses running in these races.
Mm-hmm.
And Rich is a lover of outside post positions this time around. We'll see how it works out for him.
The outside of the track's going to be hot, folks. Better be, or I'm going to look pretty stupid, which I do a pretty good job.
I don't have any problem doing that. Why should you?
Yeah, I don't have to travel very far for that, right? Yes, indeed. All right, folks. Well, no matter what you're doing for the rest of this weekend, it's getting ready for the holidays coming up, right? Thanksgiving, Christmas, not all that far off. Or you're just betting on Hong Kong because you can't sleep, which is something that happens to me quite frequently.
You're betting on some turkeys.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, right. That's what they need. We certainly hope you have God's grace, God's favor, and Thomas, everything ends up in the
winner's enclosure.
Yes, indeed. Have a blessed weekend, and thanks for spending your time with us today.